And hello YouTube, GSmaniamsmart here, and today's video we're going to be taking a look at all the new things that got put into Guild Wars 2 with the most recent patch this Tuesday. One Path Ends has been released, some announcements on the next expansion, a bunch of other stuff that wasn't listed in the patch notes we'll go over as well, so all that's coming up next. What's up everybody, GSmaniamsmart here. Thanks for stopping by to watch another of my videos, really appreciate it. If you have been new to the channel, new to any of my videos, I encourage you to subscribe to the channel. Plenty of other videos on Guild Wars 2, plenty more coming as well, especially with the announcement of expansion number 2 for Guild Wars 2 coming up next week. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as that post notification bell so you can stay up to date with all the most recent videos. So the most recent patch that dropped last Tuesday or this Tuesday, depending on when you're seeing this video, was the finale to Living World Season 3. We got Episode 6, One Path Ends, and a bunch of other information that got released, including some information on the next expansion for Guild Wars 2. I try to go over as much as I can in this video, with keeping the video on the short side, not only because I have a lot less time now, but also because some of you have wanted shorter videos, but there's a lot to go over today. I won't be surprised if we run past the 20-25 minute mark like we usually do. Now, like with every patch, there's always a ton of bug fixing. It seems like with a lot of the server crashing that was happening when the patch was released, they did a lot of bug fixing on that, but we also have a ton of bug fixing in raids and fractals, even in the open world, some events in Aurora even. So they've been pretty diligent about bug fixing. I won't go over all of that. If you want to see those specifics, go ahead and see the patch notes. I have a link to that in the description down below. Now, if you're unfamiliar with what's happening in the story right now, One Path did get put into the game, and basically we also got a new map, Sirens Landing, and it is indeed a ore map. In fact, the image that was basically teased to us a week or two ago is the loading screen of this new map. And it's located right underneath Malcor's Leap, like everyone had guessed as well. The only difference is that it's not a square map, it's not as big or as tall as we had thought. It's still a very big map, but it's rectangular and it's much wider instead of being much taller as we had anticipated. But essentially, Balthazar is on the move. He's collected magical powers, he's gotten it from the Bloodstones already, and he's now aiming to go for the Elder Dragons next. So we're basically trying to track him down this episode. I think this episode was really well done. It seems like every episode, I feel like this is something I always say in every patch video, but it really is true. It seems like every episode they outdo themselves, and this is again a really good patch. A lot of cool stuff happens. Now, a lot of things were surprising as well, and a lot of things were questionable from a certain viewpoint. Now, I'm not going to go over any details, but some of the things that the developers decided to do story-wise with the player character, and even the ending of this this episode was kind of questionable as well. I know my friend, when I was playing it through with him, he wasn't very fond of the ending because it seemed kind of it didn't meet his expectations, I guess. And while I do appreciate the fact that these new missions, basically the missions that the instances that you go into for the living story missions for this episode, they seem to have been really well improved. We have a lot of different puzzles now, a lot of different hidden achievements that you can get. These instances are getting better and better, and the combat is getting better and better as well. It's not so much standing in one spot anymore and just killing things. It's become pretty advanced with having to keep track of certain things and breaking break bars, and a lot of other mechanics have been introduced, and I really like that. And so a lot of great stuff to say about these story instances, and the story itself was also really well done, but a few things are questionable, and I've seen many people allude to the ending as being questionable, or some of the decisions that the character makes, and we'll talk a lot about that in the video where we talk about the story. This video we're not going to talk about the story because I know some of you haven't played through it yet, so we'll have a designated video for that. That's basically what's happening in this episode, so that covers that. Now, we also got a new legendary hammer and a new legendary sword, so 2 legendary weapons this time around, and As you would expect, these are massively expensive. The sword is like double the value of the legendary hammer, which is no surprise because sword is very popular anyway. We also got a new fractal, the Shattered Observatory. Now, from what I've seen from this fractal, I honestly haven't even played it yet. I'm gonna have some footage in the background of me playing it. I just like to record the audio before I get the footage. From what I've read so far and what I've seen so far, it doesn't look like it's an Abaddon fractal like we had thought it was. The Abaddon footage that you saw in the trailer for the episode actually has some relation to the story and even the awesome new jumping puzzle. More on that in just a bit. So, new fractal in the game, have not played it yet. From what I've read though, a lot of people are enjoying it. And there seems to be something with the Harbinger going on again, just like it was in the Nightmare fractal. They also seem to have adjusted world versus world again. Defending caravans has been changed from 2 minutes to 5 minutes. Hitting a player objective with a siege weapon has been changed from 1 minute to 2 minutes. And capturing a shrine has been changed from 2 minutes to 5 minutes. I'm guessing this is done mainly to prevent people from cheating the system, from keeping their participation up at a high level and them really not doing anything. So I'm glad that they're doing that. I still do feel like a team that's playing on a outnumbered map is getting far too many pips compared to a team that's not playing on an outnumbered map. Now, I'm sure people will have a lot of different opinions on that, but in my experience, I've never been on an outnumbered map for more than an hour maybe. It just feels a bit weird that some people are still playing towards that goal of trying to be on an outnumbered map. That's still a thing. I just feel like it isn't the healthiest gameplay. So they haven't changed any world versus world pip values. They've just been changing the timer a lot. Now, speaking of Abaddon, which I should have added this 2 minutes ago, but there's also a new weapon skin set, and this is the weapon skin set that you can get from the Black Lion trading vendors. You can also get them from the Black Lion chests, obviously. If you have enough tickets, you can buy them. Otherwise, you can try your luck from the Black Lion chest. And speaking of Black Lion chests, they've also updated the Black Lion chests with the Return to Ore theme. They've also added a bunch of other items into it, so it seems like they're continuously updating this Black Lion chest. The Unidentified Die and the Tombs of Knowledges have been removed, and the Mystic Forge Stone and the new Black Lion booster have been included and added to the common drops. The new Advanced Leather Rack and the Advanced Cloth Rack are available as rare drops now too. The Daydreamer Weapon Collection and the Duena Weapon Collection are now available as well for the duration of the Return to Ore Black Lion chest theme. They're also doing updating on the Mac client. It seems like now the Mac client is fairly usable. And they're continuously working on that, so we'll start to see some Mac client patch notes actually from this point onwards. The next patch will probably have more Mac client updates, so glad to see they're working on that and they're fixing bugs on that. That pretty much covers everything that the patch notes had to offer, anything big really, but there were a lot of other things that are in game that I noticed, that I read about, and that I've seen other people mentioning that I felt like are also important to mention, so stick around because you have plenty more to go over. First of all, one of the things that they added this patch that I'm really pleased with, kind of surprised that it's so late that they're adding this, but also really pleased because a lot of people need these mastery points. They've now added 9 new Central Tier Mastery Insight points. So I believe, I haven't seen them yet, but insight points means that those are the ones you just go up to and press F on. I'm pretty sure all 9 of these function just like that, so you have 9 easy free core tier mastery points. A lot of people complained that there weren't enough ways to get core tier mastery points, the central tier ones, and that they were all tied to achievements just, and it was kind of annoying. Well, developers have now added 9 new ones. I will be making a video on that showing you where these 9 are sometime very soon in the future. I might even release it tomorrow or Sunday, depending on what I'm doing, so look out for that. The new jumping puzzle that they added also is really well done, and this one is very different from all the other jumping puzzles. And I feel like this is one of these jumping puzzles that was made so well that I would put it among the top jumping puzzles in the game, mainly because it's not one of those jumping puzzles where I'm not going to say it's not a challenge to do, but it's not difficult to do in the sense that you have to get, you know, super precise jumps. There aren't any cheap tricks or cheap shots in the jumping puzzle. It's a challenging jumping puzzle, but it's a doable jumping puzzle, and it's really fun to do. Even if you hate jumping puzzles, I recommend you to try this one because it was really well done and it's really fun to do. Another interesting change they've made to personal story, or not really personal story, but to living world season playthroughs. They might have done this for personal story as well, but I haven't tested it out yet. But it seems like progression inside story instances now will be saved. So in case you get disconnected, in case you get a crash, in case you just decide you want to log off, the story progression inside these story instances will be saved. So a lot of times what'll happen, it's actually happened in my playthrough with my friend. I started the instance and my friend joined me, and when the instance finished, it asked him, do you want to accept the reward so that you get credit for it? He didn't press accept, so he didn't get the reward. We both exited the instance, and then I was like, oh well, great, now we gotta do it again. But in fact, he went back at the instance and all the progression saved up to the last save point and checkpoint, and we didn't have to redo the whole instance. So even if something like that happens where you just exit by accident or you forget to accept the rewards if you're doing it with a friend, you can go back in and you don't have to redo the entire thing. That's really awesome, and I really appreciate that. It also looks like we are getting legendary accessories. I don't know why they didn't add this to the patch notes. I felt like it would have been a really cool thing to mention, but legendary accessories seem to be coming into the game. We now have one legendary accessory, which is called Aurora. It's the first legendary trinket that's ever been put into the game, and this is looking cool because now it means that they're going to be putting legendary rings, legendary amulets, and even more legendary accessories into the game. And we're gonna come up to the point where real soon we'll have characters that are basically maxed out in legendary gear, legendary armor, weapons, trinkets. There'll be characters running around in full legendary armor, basically full legendary gear, everything, which is really awesome. This is something a lot of people have been wanting for a long time, and they're finally put into the game. And it's pricey, I won't lie to you. This legendary accessory is like over 1,000 gold. The legendary hammer, I think, is worth like 3,000 gold or 2,000 gold, and the legendary sword is like 3,000 or 4,000 gold. So these are still really expensive to make, and you have to craft them. So if you want to go and get started on that, look in your legendary trinkets section in your achievement panel, and you'll see what you have to do there to get this legendary accessory. Now, the cool thing about legendary accessories is that they will have a visual effect. So very similar to the legendary weapons, which have a visual effect. Some of them have footsteps that follow you. Legendary trinkets will have a visual effect as well. Now, the only thing that's questionable is why they didn't allow you to enable or disable the effect. It seems like it's always going to be on you. You don't have a choice on enabling or disabling the effect, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be short-lived. I'm pretty sure in the next patch, they're going to allow you to turn off or turn off the effect on legendary accessories. Then again, though, I don't know why you would make the legendary accessory. Oh, probably because you can change stats, that's why. If you didn't like the effect, you could still change stats, so really cool. I'm looking forward to some more of these coming into the game. Now, because of this also, though, because of the legendary accessory, because of the legendary sword and the legendary hammer, 3 legendary items put into this patch, prices for a lot of things have skyrocketed. Amalgamated gemstones, mystic coins, mithril ore, elderwood logs, a lot of these things have risen in prices by a lot. I think elderwood logs were at like 1 or 2 silvers, and now they're at 4 or 5 silver, which is a huge increase. So that's one of the things that's been having effect on the market. And another thing that wasn't mentioned in the patch notes, which is a huge thing, maybe they've added it now by now already, but material storage has been updated as well. If you remember a while ago, we talked about Lindsay's efforts to update the material storage so that a lot of the Heart of Thorns crafting materials can be put into the bank. A lot of the scribing recipes, a lot of the scribing materials can be put into the bank. Well, that's been put into the game now. Well, the material storage has been updated. A lot of new things have been added to it. So if you go to your bank right now and look at your material storage, you'll see a lot more boxes there, and you should be able to save a lot more space in your inventory. And the last thing that I noticed that was put into the game that also wasn't mentioned or talked about really is new food. It seems like every new map they're putting into the game, they're also adding a new food recipe or new types of food that will give you different boosts for different classes. They still give power, condition damage, healing power, toughness, vitality, whatever stat you want to pick, but it seems like the primary benefit off of that food is changing with each map. This time around, They will give you damage reduction. It seems they're gonna get minus 10% damage reduction, which is really great. This is the defensive food basically, so this wouldn't be a bad choice even for maybe Elementalist. You're taking 10% less damage with each hit. In 10 hits, you would have reduced your damage by 100%. So heck, this looks like some pretty good food. Haven't tested it out yet, but if you want to check it out, I do have the recipes on screen right now, and you can craft these just like you've crafted all the other foods before. And actually, there is one more thing that I think is worth mentioning. There is a new Gleam of Sentience converter, basically a consumer. You know how we have the 4 sentients that consume your bloodstone and consume your dragonite ore and all that stuff? Well, the 4 sentient consumers, if you have those 4 sentient consumers, some of them you can get through achievements, some of them you get through the living story, some of them you get through current events. If you have all 4 of these sentient consumers, you can actually combine them into a Gleam of Sentience, which will basically function as a vendor, but it saves you space in your bank and in your inventory, but not having to carry all 4 of them around anymore. Now it'll just be one, all 4 combined into one. So that's a really cool addition as well. And the last big thing I want to talk about is about the reveal of the next expansion's release date. Now there's big news on this. August 1st will be the day that they're gonna have a live stream. I think Wooden Potatoes is also going to be the person that's doing the post-show for this. There's a pre-show for this as well. I think the time is 8 o'clock Pacific time, I want to say the pre-show starts. I think 9 o'clock Pacific time, the actual reveal starts. So if you're on the East Coast, that would be 11 a.m. for the pre-show, I believe. I have the schedule to the program linked in the description, so if you want to see the times and you want to convert your time on Google, go and check the link out in the description. They're going to be revealing the release date. They're probably going to have a trailer for it as well. We did get a teaser trailer. I won't talk about it too much or spoil anything, but at the end of Living World Season 3, when you finish the last episode, you'll see a teaser trailer to the next expansion. This has been posted over Reddit and over YouTube a lot already, so some of you might have seen it already, but this is what you'll also be seeing at the end of episode 6, that same trailer that you might have seen already. Now I'm going to say something quickly that may spoil something for you, so if you want to mute the video for like 15-20 seconds, I'll put an icon on screen right now, so when the icon goes away, you can unmute the video again. But it does look like we are going to the Crystal Desert. Not only do we see that in the teaser trailer at the end of that episode, but our character even says it as well at the end of the episode. So it seems like what a lot of us have speculated and a lot of people have guessed, that we're going to the Crystal Desert, is going to come true. And I'm really excited to see how they're going to do this and how this is going to work out. If we'll actually get sand surfing, that's something people have been speculating about. So we'll see how that works. But really awesome teaser trailer at the very end. And if you're tuning back in with us right now, I've already gone over all the spoilers. So that's really exciting. We'll definitely go over the trailer when it gets released. I'll try to get a Monday video out, but I have no idea how my work schedule will be, so it might be another 2 or 3 days before I get to it. I'll try to post another video sometime this weekend about the new map maybe, or the new fractal, or the Corteria, mastery insight locations, a lot of things that I want to make a video about. I just gotta find the time to do so. So this patch was really good. Really love this patch. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the patch as well and you're getting in there and playing it. Like I said, we'll have videos covering a lot of the usual topics like we have done for the past patches. So look out for those. They might be released a bit slower than usual though, so apologies on that. But I think that pretty much covers everything for today's video. Thank you for watching as always, guys. Really appreciate it. And if you want to talk about anything that you loved in this patch, anything that surprised you in the story maybe even, or want to talk about anything, leave a comment down below. I'll be down there answering you guys as usual and commenting when I can. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. Plenty of other Guild Wars 2 content coming in the future, coming very soon as well. And you don't want to miss the program. August 1st, next Tuesday, you will get a reveal of the expansion. We'll probably get a title for it. We'll get a release date for it. We'll get some of the features that might be included. A lot of cool stuff is going to come out from this trailer that we'll get August 1st from this reveal. So make sure you tune in for that if you can. If not, I'll definitely have a video summarizing it. If you don't have the time to watch it, if you're working, I will have a video. Most likely, I'm going to try my best to get it up on Monday, and you'll get a summary of that because I'm going to be watching it myself, or I'll record it or something. I'll have some way to watch it. So that's pretty much for this video. Thank you for watching as always, guys. And if you want to check out my most recent video, click the annotation here. Want to check out a similar video to this one that you might like, click the annotation here. Want to subscribe to my other channels, click the annotation here. And if you want to donate $1 to my Patreon page, you can click the annotation here. That's pretty much it, guys. Thank you for watching as always. And this is GSmaniamsmart. I'll be back sooner than you think. Don't go anywhere.